Do your students struggle with reading, language, and speech skills? So did mine. Hi, I'm Kelly Richmond, and the Literacy Speaks program strengthened my students' reading, language, and speech skills and lightened my caseload. I'm a practicing school-based speech-language pathologist, and I created the Literacy Speaks program because my students were not making progress with traditional intervention approaches. My time as an educator is valuable. I needed materials that would simultaneously address reading, language, and speech skills. Please join us for the next 5 short minutes so we can explain the strategies and demonstrate the techniques of the Literacy Speaks program. Literacy Speaks is an exciting and innovative program that improves students' reading, language, and speech skills simultaneously. Literacy Speaks is an early intervention program. Studies have shown that early intervention programs are much more cost-effective and productive than speech remediation, reading remediation, or special education programs. Literacy Speaks closes the educational gap by positioning at-risk students for reading success. Money is saved because costly supportive services are usually not needed later in educational experiences. Proficient reading and writing skills cannot be achieved unless the 4 processors, orthographic, phonological, meaning, and context are synchronized and activated. The Literacy Speaks Letters to Literacy step progression effectively activates and synchronizes the 4 processors within the brain. The Literacy Speaks Letters to Literacy step progression begins with introduction of the target sound and letter in isolation. This method allows the student to become familiar with the sound-letter correlation. First, teach the student to locate the printed letter within the text. Next, introduce the student to the segmented word on the top side of the printed stimulus word card. Once the student can correctly segment words, introduce them to the blended word on the bottom side of the target stimulus word card. Once the student can correctly blend the words, then you want to turn the card over and show them the picture. The unique aspect of Literacy Speaks is that it works with orthographic cues or printed cues. Many children with communication disorders have a phonological conception of words. To them, the animal standing in the farmyard is a cow. It doesn't matter how many times we tell them it's a cow, to them it's a cow. So seeing the picture of the cow actually works against us because they're thinking of the wrong sound. So working with the words, with the pictures first, actually helps the students progress more quickly. So we've worked through segmenting the words, blending the words, and then we turn those picture cards over, and it's really an aha moment for a lot of kids. We see that light bulb going off because they suddenly understand, wow, it's a cow. Even when students aren't using Literacy Speaks as a communication program, when they're using it as a literacy program, we still have that aha moment when they see the pictures because they've segmented the word and blended the word, and then they turn the picture card over and have the reinforcement of seeing the picture. Once the child can correctly blend the word with picture identification, you want to introduce sight words for phrase and sentence production. Sight words are high-frequency words that have to be memorized for fluent reading. Incorporation at this level allows students to be introduced to sight words and also allows them to be introduced to print awareness. At the sentence level, Literacy Speaks incorporates sight words that are uppercase on one side and lowercase on the other side, and also incorporates punctuation. Students are able to build their own sentences with target stimulus cards, including punctuation. Once students can successfully complete sentences, then you can introduce the Literacy Speaks reproducible books. Literacy Speaks reproducible books contain target stimulus sound words and sight words with simple and effective stories. The characters that the students became familiar with during the cards come to life in these little books. The students love coloring the books, learning their sounds, and learning new stories. The fun and whimsical books help develop reading, language, and speech skills and are reproducible so they can be used in classroom, speech sessions, and carried over into home environments.
Hi, I'm Diane Joustra, co-author of Literacy Speaks and an early childhood special education teacher. Believing that all students can learn, I began using Literacy Speaks in my multi-categorical special needs classroom of 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. My expectation was that students can progress from the articulation of sounds to a foundation of early literacy skills through the collaboration of the speech-language pathologist and myself as a classroom teacher. Literacy Speaks easily provides this progression of skills for students and the opportunity for collaboration between educators. Over 300 separate implementing tools are available in each kit. All materials come in 2 easy-to-manage pieces. Students will be able to read 56 books by the end of Kit 1 alone. Each Literacy Speaks kit contains 5 unique Letters to Literacy activities for use in therapy sessions, the classroom, or at home. These activities include Trace a Letter with Me. By tracing the target letter, students become familiar with the shape of the letter while learning the sound the letter makes. Let's go on a letter hunt. A letter hunt is an interactive way for students to discover that letters are everywhere. Students enjoy hunting for the target letter and making the letter sound together. This activity connects the target letter and the sound to everyday print. Let's Read a Book Together provides opportunities to read aloud to students. By intentionally choosing books with a target letter, students have the opportunity to identify the target letter in some of their favorite books. After the target letter is identified, make the sound together. Color a picture with me. This activity encourages students to transfer their knowledge of the target letter and sounds at the word level from one environment to another, such as the therapy room to the classroom, or the classroom to home. These worksheets develop the understanding that single words can label objects, actions, or emotions. Read My Book with Me is Literacy Speaks' very own fun, whimsical, and reproducible books designed to develop literacy, language, and speech skills while promoting shared reading activities in natural environments.
Literacy Speaks has been successfully implemented around the country by educators, literacy specialists, special education instructors, Head Start personnel, and speech-language pathologists. Why do speech-language pathologists like Literacy Speaks? Because it simultaneously creates phonological awareness, improves speech skills, expands language, and enhances literacy skills. Why do educators like Literacy Speaks? Because it's a complete program that effectively addresses students at risk for reading failure. Why is Literacy Speaks special? Because it's a comprehensive program that promotes clinician and educator collaboration, motivates students, improves test scores, and promotes family involvement. Literacy Speaks is a diverse program that can be implemented in one-on-one sessions, small groups, or classroom environments. Literacy Speaks supports skill development for preschool through early elementary school students, students with special needs, economically disadvantaged students, English language learning students, and students with communication disorders. Why do students like Literacy Speaks? Because it promotes a fun learning environment. Students advance quickly, and the materials are easily carried over into the home and classroom environments.